Hey, what's going on, guys? Felix here, and today I'm going to talk to you about why, even after years of podcasting, there's still kind of tricks and hacks and little tips that I am discovering along the way, and also what it has to do with my diet. So, about a year ago, I started the keto diet because we just had our daughter, and I was not in great shape. I was super tired all the time. I knew something had to change with my health, and the keto diet, though, the issue with it, I guess in my mind, the issue with it is that it is basically a super low carb diet, and we're talking about like 20 grams of carbs. And just to give you an idea what that means, basically a slice of bread, like white bread, would be enough to basically give me my all the carbs I could have for the day. So super limited diet in that regard. But I love bread. I love like carbs. I love rice. Like everything carb related has been such a staple of my diet. It's like my favorite food, right? So it was a big challenge for me. And I started seeing like these kind of cracks, and I started getting these cravings coming back after about 9 months into it. I started craving a little bit more food. I started seeing cracks where I would maybe have a bite out of my wife's pizza, slice of pizza one day, or she might have had some fries. I might have eaten one of her fries, and just started seeing these kind of cracks. But the issue is that, again, I can't have any carbs. So what should I do? Like, do I just kind of succumb to these cravings, or like just kind of bare knuckle or white knuckle it and grit my teeth and try to just force myself through the cravings? And that wasn't working, right? I would just have like these breakdowns and just like go binge eating and a bunch of food and break out of my diet, right? So nothing was working. Like I had these cravings. I couldn't have carbs. I wanted carbs. Like I had this big issue, and then I started thinking, like, let me see what's out there. What is out there that I could eat that could satisfy some of these cravings? So I started looking around for just like low carb bread options, right? Anything that's low carb. Maybe I have like one slice every other day and it'll satisfy my cravings and still be within my diet. And then I came across this company called Thin Slim Foods, and they made zero carb bread. So I was like, what? There's like, how can this exist? How can there be zero carb bread, right? I was like mind blown. So I went out and bought every single flavor, which you can kind of see right here. These are all the flavors. Like you got rye, honey, rye, plain. So I bought all the flavors. And there was a plan. Like I would just eat zero carb bread and satisfy my cravings. And it worked. Like every day or every other day, I might want some bread, have a sandwich, have a peanut butter sandwich, and I used the zero carb bread, and all worked. And what was crazy to me was that what I learned about myself was that I got to stop thinking that I know all the answers towards success. Like I've been on this diet for a year, and I didn't realize that this kind of food option existed because in my head I thought, okay, I knew exactly what I need to do. I know the path towards success, and I'm just going to stick with what I know that I started with from the beginning, and not keep my mind open to what else could help me succeed, what else could help me stay on a path towards success. And even after a year, I still learned all these kind of hacks, and like the zero carb breads I consider a hack, right? All these hacks and tips and tricks to keep me on the path towards success. And that's the same idea behind the podcasting secrets course. I knew that was still learning things after 5 years of podcasting. Even after millions of downloads, I was still learning things about how to become a better podcaster, how to put out better episodes, how to grow it, how to monetize it better. I was still learning things, and I knew that I wasn't the only one that was learning things. I knew that I couldn't just discover these things myself. And that's why in the course, it's not just me telling you about what I did, but we actually went out and spoke to the top podcasters in different niches and different categories and asked them, if you had to start all over again, how would you launch and how would you grow your podcast from brand new, zero downloads, zero listeners to your first 1,000 listeners? And along the way, there's tips, tricks, and hacks that I never seen before, that I never heard of before, that I don't see in articles or online or anything like that. These are things that come with experience. Just like with my diet, even after a year of being into it, I was too stubborn to realize that I didn't know everything. And then I just over time discover, I can eat this kind of food too that can satisfy my cravings. I can find this kind of company that creates zero carb bread. I can find another company that creates like super low carb pasta. Like, there are all these little hacks and tips that for some reason I didn't see early on, but it wasn't until I had experience that I was able to discover. And the same thing again with the course. There are just certain things that only come from experience, and that's what we try to pull out of these top podcasters and put inside podcasting secrets. So if you want to get access to the course, you want to launch, you want to grow your podcast, make sure to go grab it over at podcastingsecretscourse.com, and hopefully it helps you out. To think about keeping an open mind when you're on your journey towards anything that you want to succeed in, Don't just use the knowledge that you started with, but keep your mind open to all possibilities. Like I never knew that there's such thing as zero carb bread. Like I could not even imagine eating bread, any form of it, when I first started my diet. But I kept an open mind, or I opened my mind at some point and realized like, oh, there's all these other options to keep me on the path towards success. So if you're looking for something similar like that when you're launching your podcast, go to podcastingsecretscourse.com and grab the course. And I'll see you inside. Take care. Bye bye.